Late at night, the silence felt heavier than usual, and the air carried an eerie chill. The basement of the old hospital was as empty as always, and the room at the very bottom, the morgue, had been assigned to Coleman for his night shift. It was his first month on the job, so saying no wasn't an option. Coleman walked down the creaking stairs, and with every step, the darkness around him felt thicker, heavier. He reached the morgue door, took a deep breath, and pushed it open. The moment he stepped inside, a sharp wave of cold hit him, as if an icy hand had brushed the back of his neck. The room glowed with uneven light. The old tube light flickered constantly, bright one second, dim the next. Damp patches on the walls looked almost alive, as if they were quietly breathing. Coleman placed his small bag in a corner and sat on the old wooden chair. The silence inside the room felt unnatural. Only the low hum of the refrigerator filled the space, steady, tired, like a rusty fan trying its best to keep running. A few minutes later, Coleman's eyes drifted toward the steel table in front of him. The white sheet on it twitched, very gently, so subtle that for a moment he wondered if he imagined it. Coleman got up slowly, fixed the sheet carefully, and sat again. Some time passed before the refrigerator suddenly went silent. The entire room dropped into a dead, absolute quiet, the kind where even your own breathing sounds too loud. In that silence, Coleman noticed the same white sheet had somehow slipped down to the floor. Hiding the tremble in his hands, Coleman bent down and lifted the sheet. Just then, from the far end of the dark room, he heard slow, heavy footsteps. Not loud, but unmistakable, like someone walking toward him from a long distance. Unhurried, steady, and getting closer. Coleman froze. He couldn't step forward, and he couldn't run back. Only his breath felt warm, while the room grew colder. Much colder. Coleman turned on his flashlight and pointed it toward the back corner. The beam hit the damp wall. Everything looked normal for a second, but then he saw it. Right beside his own shadow, there was another shadow, taller, twisted, wrong, and it wasn't moving with the flashlight at all. Coleman's heart felt like it skipped a beat. He rushed toward the door, grabbed the handle and pulled as hard as he could, but the door wouldn't budge. It felt like someone strong was holding it shut from the other side. His breathing grew faster, but the air around him grew colder, so cold he could feel a presence standing right behind him. The slow footsteps returned, much closer now, too close, as if someone was standing directly behind Coleman, watching the room over his shoulder. The tube light flickered for a long second, and when it lit up again, Coleman saw it, standing between the steel tables. A tall, solid black figure, perfectly still, perfectly silent, with no human face at all. Its presence shrunk the room. Coleman's fingers numbed. His breathing slowed. The darkness and the air blended together. The flashlight kept trembling in his hand, and Coleman's eyes stayed locked on that shadow, as if everything after that moment never moved forward, and the night simply stopped.